Thanks for staying with us. In just a few hours, President Donald Trump will announce steep tariff on Chinese imports. It will be Trump's first trade action directly aimed at China, which he has blamed for destroying America's manufacturing sector and the loss of millions of jobs. Here's the U.S. Trade Representative.
We have a very serious problem of losing our intellectual property, which is really the biggest single advantage of the American economy, in my opinion, is our intellectual property and our ability to generate new intellectual property. We are losing that to China in ways that are not reflective of the underlying economics.
Joining me in studio to break this down further is Tal Reshef, an expert, especially regarding Asian businesses and Asian trade. Thanks for being with us. Bloomberg News reports that the president will announce $50 billion in tariffs, and it's really going to target dozens of companies that use U.S. technology. These alleged intellectual property thefts. How serious is that?
Well, in a matter of fact, it is serious, and it is not only that. This is the tip of the iceberg, I must say, because it's true that China, for years, quoting every possible expert in this area, is hacking into American data and stealing the data that is relevant for the industry.
Yes, they take software secrets, allegedly, and hack right in there.
But more than that, they're blocking access of American companies and other companies, Israelis also, to sales in their country in ways that are not applied by others, while they're having a free hand while entering into other markets, meaning that they are breaking many international rules in order to make an advantage for their companies.
But Tal, what's the risk of this, of what Trump is reportedly going to do in just a few hours? Tens of billions of dollars in tariffs. Could this explode into a global trade war, and what would the consequences be? Well,
absolutely. It is the first step in a war. China has already let understand that that they are going to respond. They are going to put taxes or maybe even block import of American soybeans. And it is clear that this is only the first step. Later on, there will be more.
And this impact on the American manufacturing industry, would this move really bring back manufacturing jobs to America? Is this going to have a real impact on the American worker?
I'm not so sure about it, because once the import from China is under these taxes, it means that the import will not vanish, it will be more expensive. So it means that the one who buys a Chinese product will find it more expensive, and in the point where he decides not to buy a Chinese product, most chances are that he will buy Korean or Japanese or European one.
It hurts some and helps others, especially in that region. I want to ask lastly just about the Middle East impact, the ripple effect here in Israel, which is also dealing with that economic giant of China. How could this trade war impact Israel?
On the first steps, it is not expected to affect, because we are not competing with China in this area, and we cannot provide alternative to what they provide with each other. But on the long term, if it will bring a real long-term war with a real collapse of economies, which many people are expecting it to happen, it will influence the whole world. It might bring a world crisis in the economy, and in this case it will affect the Israeli economy as others.
The possibility of a world financial crisis here.
Absolutely, like 2008, 2009, we are going to repeat it, and maybe even more severe.
All right, Tal, thanks so much for being with us. Thanks for that analysis. And again, we will stay tuned on President Trump's anticipated speech in just a few hours. So stay connected to I-24 News. Tal, thank you so much. Meanwhile, embattled Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg